Hello and welcome to the Radical Saturday podcast. I am AJ 1700s.
Oh, and I'm Blazing Blades, and yeah.
I got him a new fancy mic, so hopefully he should sound better. Let's also ignore the fact that this video is, let's just say a little late. But this channel, well, not channel, podcast, wasn't just supposed to be about tanks, uh, which is why this episode is on the Fermi paradox. Okay, yeah, there we go. But first, news from the front. Donald Trump has gone to a French energy company which was building wind farms off the coast and paid it almost $1 billion to disinvest from wind farms and instead invest in oil.
Why am I not surprised?
You want to know why he hates wind farms?
Why?
Because he owned a golf course in Scotland in 2002. A wind farm was built a little ways from it that was visible from it. He tried to stop it, he failed, and he basically has had a vendetta ever since.
Interesting.
Yeah. Uh, if you watched the last episode, the protests are still happening. I do not want to summarize everything that has happened since, but uh, currently we have an Iranian blockade and then a US blockade right behind it. Uh,
Yeah, that escalated very suddenly and very quickly, but
it escalated quickly, but we're also just slow.
yeah, we did miss a little while since the
Yeah, in the
last
first
episode.
draft of this, it was like the Super Bowl and Artemis 2 were the news. Now it's Iran and Artemis 2. Huh.
And the Nutella line artists too.
Speaking of Artemis 2, glory to Canada! Alternate title, Home We Finally Landed. This is the famous photograph Artemis 2 took, and I would like to see if you can. By the way, it's a nighttime photo, even though it doesn't look like it. It's weird stuff with exposure. But I'm curious to see if you can identify where this is on the map.
Why is it all orange?
I always put this filter on the news from the front news section.
Oh, because right now I can't tell. I thought it was the moon when I first saw it because of the filter. I mean, I'm gonna guess it's Canada, but
Nope. You want to know what this area is? And this area basically. This is Africa, except that is East Africa and that is North Africa. No, sorry, West Africa. That is West Africa and that is North Africa. And Spain is over here. It's upside down.
it is.
Just
Why
ignore
is it
how I'm
upside
using
down?
upside down because something relativity. And that has been news from the front. What was that?
I got the soundboard working.
Oh no. Uh,
I'm
alright, now
scared.
to the actual episode, the Fermi Paradox. The first off, what is the Fermi Paradox, and who's this Fermi guy anyways?
If he's the guy on the left, he looks like a balding middle-aged man.
Correct. This is Enrico Fermi, one of the most influential physicists of all time. And he put out a question which we still don't know the answer to, called the Fermi paradox. Basically, it's like, why no aliens? Why have we found no alien?
Interesting. I mean, that's a good question.
So I went on Reddit, mistake number one, and found this iceberg meme about the Fermi paradox. And we're going to go through solutions, I should clarify. Fermi paradox solutions. We're going to go through each one of these and talk about how likely each one of them are using the returning grain of salt meter. One salt means it's likely. Two salts, plausible. Three salts, highly unlikely or outright disproven.
Okie dokie.
You ready?
Yeah, let's dive into this.
We haven't been discovered yet. One salt. Space is big. We're most certainly not. I mean, the background photo I chose is literally Hubble Deep Field, one of my favorite space photographs of all time. And it's like, this normally looks completely black. We just looked at it long enough to see something. Space is big.
Alright, what about the second one?
Radios aren't advanced enough. Too salt. We're, we're basically whispering into the void, a very loud void. I mean, the sun is right there, and that is always the elephant in the room, as NASA says when it comes to space equations. Uh, but with some of our own tech in the future, it may not be impossible to hear a whisper. Actually, we do know what our first message that will probably be heard is, and it's
Oh no.
the 1930 speech at the Olympics given by Adolf Hitler.
What are the odds?
Well, he had to compensate for something. It's just, I wish he didn't. Space is too big for communication. One salt. Our solar system is 4 light years away from the closest one, which means we see it 4 years ago. So,
Yeah.
if life is a billion light years away, it will see us a billion years ago. Which,
Not a lot going on back then.
yeah, there weren't really radios or anything a billion years ago, and it's likely we'll ever have contact.
Very, very unlikely.
But we gotta go deeper. It's the zoo hypothesis. I actually missed this one the first draft, so I had to add one quickly. Two. We're pretty good at detecting stuff, but it's not impossible that we're missing it using technology we don't know. Uh, Basically, are we being Star Trek? Does the Prime Directive actually apply to us?
What's the prime directive again?
Basically, do not interfere with species before they invent an FTL drive.
Ah,
We are the first civilization in the galaxy to salt. Oh, sorry, no, read the wrong one. Aliens aren't interested in Earth. To salt. Trees are probably incredibly rare and super useful, along with a bunch of other stuff like lunar eclipses and Pluto. Like, Earth's biodiversity, not even including humans, would probably make it worth it.
Yeah, we got a lot of cool stuff here.
We are the first civilization in the galaxy, two salts. I actually used to believe this. On the first draft I made, I actually put this at one salt and had I believe this, but I don't believe it anymore because we actually have equations to calculate if there's ever been life in the galaxy before. And it's
Well,
like
I could use
1 in a
math to figure that out.
billion that were first. And there's no one else.
People use
Also,
math to figure out there's been other civilizations before humans.
NASA just keeps finding stuff on Mars, which is like, we can deny it no longer. We can't figure out any other reason but life this could be made.
Interesting.
Government cover up. One salt. I was gonna put it at 2 or 3, but there's been hints by Obama, Trump, and some others since first script writing that implies there could be something.
I mean, they could just be playing with us, you know? I mean, how do we know
Yeah.
they're being honest?
Plus, it's like, how good is the government at hiding stuff, really?
When they try, they can do fairly well.
Yeah, but I feel
I
like
mean,
if someone had the right connections, I don't know, maybe in the Eisenhower administration, they could probably, like, steal the entire Epstein files, for example.
no, yeah, I guess that's true, but I
Really
mean, like, the
specific example,
government,
which I'm sure won't come up later. We are the
uh,
sentients of the Milky Way. 3. Salt. This implies a living galaxy in which we are the life, and that sounds like a sci-fi book. That doesn't sound realistic in any manner.
yeah, I agree with that.
We gotta go deeper, deeper, like like a simulation deeper, which is actually 3 salts. Yeah, we've actually run the math. A black hole, a mathematically perfect computer, would need more energy than the entire universe to even load one, to go from its starting position to what would come next. Basically, the equivalent of a frame. So, either we are real, or we are in a simulated universe, but the universe simulating us is not like our own.
I guess the latter is plausible.
Yeah, I guess, but I feel like we're pretty real. Interstellar exploration is a uniquely human trait. 2 salt. If we were the only sapient life, maybe, but go up is a very strong desire. It's like, haven't you ever wanted to go up, up, and up?
I'm kind of scared of heights, so no.
Aren't you training to be a pilot?
That's like my, the highest I'll go. Planes aren't scary because it feels like you're on the ground.
Come on, weren't you when you were a baby? Didn't like mother or something like grab onto you and you were like higher, higher?
I can't remember what happened yesterday. I'm not gonna remember that.
Fair point. I don't remember either. I haven't known you for long enough. Civilizations don't survive climate change. 2 salt. We're currently testing this one, but this is the first of the great filter theories. But what is the great filter?
I
What's your
have to guess
guess?
from what I've seen so far. It's certain things that every civilization probably goes through, and some survive, some get clapped. That's what I'm guessing.
You're kind of close. So, here's just a random one I grabbed off Wikipedia. Uh, the Great Filter is a theory that posits that as life develops, uh, it will eventually hit a barrier that it, for example, this one right here, and that for whatever reason, it will not overcome that barrier. In this case, we do not survive climate change because we cannot enact policies fast enough to curb it successfully and quick enough, thus killing ourselves and just preparing the next sapient life on this planet to repeat the same.
Oh.
And that applies for most, if not all, sapient life, or sentient life, depending on what the great filter in posit is being theoried. Intelligent
Interesting.
life is rare. 2 salt. We don't know why we evolved so smart, but it's not like we're the only ones getting to this level. So it's probably bound to happen eventually. I mean, there's other creatures like crows and chimps, which are starting to approach our level. They're not sapient yet, but they're getting there.
And as we get dumber and dumber and they get smarter and smarter, we're probably gonna just cross soon.
Intelligent life is, sorry, the rare Earth hypothesis. 2 salt. This theory states that there's something so uncommon about Earth, it is too rare to be realistically replicated. The specific one I hear most often posited is that it needs to be from the two planets hitting each other and then having one planet form and a large moon form, very specifically like that, that creates conditions for life. But honestly, I doubt it just because there is so many planets and it doesn't seem like the conditions for life are as stringent as the theory proposes.
I think I agree with you there.
But we gotta go deeper. Civilizations don't survive the atomic era. 2 salt. Data still being collected, but this one implies we are on the only one with, we're with, rest in peace, Kennedy.
What do you
Basically
mean
no one
by
else
with
survives the
Kennedy?
equivalent of the Cuban Missile Crisis.
Uh,
Or we just have,
that's
or we're on bar time, and as soon as Cuban Missile Crisis 2 thermoelectric boogaloo happens, we'll also meet our maker.
this one's feasible, but not as likely as some of the other ones that I've seen here.
That also implies that thermonuclear holocaust wouldn't be survivable. I'm not saying very many would survive. I'm saying enough would, though.
Possibly. It would kind of restart the civilization, though, or at least set them
We'll
back a
get
good,
to that
good
theory
while.
later. Life requires
So
more than one
what's
habitable planet. Two salt. There's something so uncommon about Earth, it makes it so rare to be realistically Wait, have I said this before?
this is going back to like the rare earth theory, basically.
Yeah. From what I can understand, this one's either implies that there has been multiple habitable planets in order for life to come up, which doesn't make sense, or it's just the rare Earth theory again. Math
Yeah,
is a
that one's kind of funky.
math is a human exclusive discipline. Three so you do realize we're not the only ones that use math, you know? It's like other creatures may still be on like basic multiplication and counting, but they and like fractions and stuff, but it's like they still do know it. It's like we're not the only ones with math.
Yeah. So if multiple creatures on Earth can do math, then it's likely then aliens and stuff can also probably do math. If they exist, that is.
Interstellar travel is scientifically impossible. One salt. There's three ways this could be unproven. Either A, or one, sorry. You get a colony ship going near the speed of light to go to a destination. This one's generally considered the least ethical because you're creating a whole generation of people whose entire existence is having kids and waiting. To
I can see that being kind of unethical.
FTL drive, basically faster than light propulsion technology.
I don't think we're too close to that yet. It is feasible, though. Maybe.
Finally, three, wormholes.
Yeah, what's a wormhole? I've heard of it before, but I haven't really had it defined or anything yet.
Alright, do you have a piece of paper with you?
Uh, no.
Okay, so luckily I do, and I can use it to just describe it to you. So imagine a piece of paper is space, alright?
Right.
You can move on it all you want, but of course, it takes a certain amount of time to get from here to there. Now, imagine you fold space.
And that fold is kind of like a wormhole where you can go from
Not
one
quite.
place to another really quickly. Nope, not
The
quite.
space is still the same. Now imagine you poke a hole on each side of the paper and connect it. That's the wormhole.
Ah,
So it's like you could go normally, or you could go through the wormhole, which is basically space has been curved to make the distance shorter.
do those exist, or is that just hypothetical?
Still hypothetical. But I would also like to
Okay.
point out that number two is has actually been proven, kind of, since writing.
Well, that's recent then, so we're not gonna see that for a while, I'm guessing.
A group of Israeli scientists found out that singularities can move faster than light because singularities aren't anything at all. They're, there's no matter in them, there's no waves going through them, they are nothing. And because they are nothing, they can go faster than light.
Interesting.
They're a pain to detect, especially the faster they go. But theoretically, I'm thinking I've already emailed one of the people involved about this idea, but I have two ideas. Either one, you create a hyperdrive, except using nothing, which seems kind of shaky. A hyperdrive is basically just you get the ship is in space, but then you move the space around the ship faster than light.
Oh, all right.
So the ship is sitting still, but the still it's sitting in is moving faster than light. That's uh I'm not sure how that would work with this advancement, but the other one is far more realistic and far more achievable. Uh I put like names to all of this in the email I sent to the scientists, but I don't remember off the top of my head what they are. But basically, if you had a theoretical device that could shoot singularities and a theoretical device that could detect when it's not detecting anything, thus detecting a singularity, then you could theoretically encode it in like binary or Morse code and have faster than light communication.
Oh, I see where this is going.
Yeah. Aliens are everywhere, but we can't see them. One salt. We don't know how aliens work, albeit we have started efforts to look for aliens at like for non-planetary life. Like life not on planets, or life on planets we wouldn't expect.
That's true, 'cause we don't know if they're carbon-based or anything, or what they need to survive, and we don't know if they need water or anything, so they could be somewhere we wouldn't expect them.
But we gotta go deeper. We have yet to reach the Great Filter. One salt. We do not know what we do not know.
Okay, this one's feasible.
Civilizations do not survive AI. 2. Another great filter, but this one's dumber. Because unless it's talking about AGI, it's like saying civilizations don't survive the internet.
What's AGI again?
Basically, think of it as an AI that can 100% independently train itself,
Oh,
like how you and I do. We are the last surviving civilization in the galaxy. To Salt, isn't this just the plot of Halo?
I haven't played those games in a while, but they're good.
Yeah. This theory kind of implies that like all civilizations in the galaxy start at the exact same time, and that no new ones are created, and out of all of those, we are the only one that is left. It's like new ones will probably pop up. Aliens will travel through the universe virtually. Salt. It is entirely plausible that aliens can travel in a way we can't detect yet, or exist in a way we cannot detect yet.
Well, that's plausible. And can we go any deeper? Oh, yes,
We
yes.
can go deeper, and we must go deeper. The
I feel
laboratory
bad for the guy on the top
hypothesis.
right. I feel bad for the guy on the top right. He looks like he's suffering.
To Salt. Isn't this just the plot of like a lot of franchises? Isn't this basically just evil Star Trek?
What's the laboratory hypothesis?
Basically, humans are a experiment. It's like the aliens are hiding from us and like experimenting on us and like our civilization. I
Plausible.
originally said this as evil Star Trek, but I feel like Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy is probably more accurate.
What about the next one? Civilizations reset after a certain stage.
Two Salt. It's almost three, but a disaster reset not learned from keeps it just above. But it completely ignores how technology and advancement works. Basically, if you're not understanding what I'm talking about, I feel the easiest way to describe it is with the anime Doctor Stone.
Stone?
Yeah, basically, the very basic plot of Doctor Stone is uh, modern day Earth, everyone gets turned into stone. Then, uh, millions of years in the future, one gets reawakened by accident and is trying to free everyone from stone using real world science and using that same real world science to rebuild civilization from scratch. It's done in a very realistic manner. I will have some friends that dispute that, but done in a very realistic manner. And it's like a couple years in, they're already at cars. I mean, very basic steam engine cars, but like cars.
That sounds very interesting. But
Yeah,
yeah, I see what you mean by that.
this isn't like. This reminds me of another graph I've seen in the past, which also misunderstands how human advancement works, where it's basically like Egypt, Greece, Rome, line going up, Dark Ages, line going down, Renaissance, line goes back up. And then there's like a line drawn showing like, this is the technological advancement we missed because the Dark Ages happened. And ignores several factors like Greece, Rome, and Egypt all happening at the same time. The Dark Ages only really affecting Europe, and like just before it ended, there was a huge phase of technological advancement, and it's not like after the end of Rome we forgot how to build an aqueduct. It's like civilizations reset after a certain stage just has a lot of fundamental misunderstandings.
Yeah. Now what about that last one?
We are the only intelligent life in the universe. Two Salt. We finally got to the we are alone. Or at least we are the only ones smarter than a crow. But like Earth critters are catching up. So it's like if life does exist elsewhere, I feel like it's highly likely that given enough time, not even that much time either, will eventually hit our level. It's like life seems to evolve exponentially. So it's only like a couple million years, maybe a few billion. Even if your sun is getting near the end of its life, as long as you're not too close, you should be fine.
Doesn't sound like too short of time, though.
I'm talking in a cosmic sense.
Yeah, I figured. With yeah, I don't think I'm gonna go up to a guy and say, "Hey, a few billion years from now, you want to go meet at I don't know, Burger King?"
But, but we have to go deeper. The dark forest theory. To Salt. We are living proof. Some may not, but the ones that do will work together. Also, just because one is more advanced doesn't mean invincible. Example, World Wars of
War
the
of the
World.
Worlds.
Alright, to
That is a
basically
good
explain this,
book.
the Dark Force theory is the scariest and most famous answer. Basically, that advanced enough civilizations know better than to look for other ones, and is best to hide as to not be obliterated. That, why? We are living proof that that is not true. We are actively trying to reach out. And just because one is more technologically advanced, it doesn't mean invincible. I mean, even though Africa eventually entirely came under European and American imperialism, they did fight hard and they did have some victories. And even after it, it took not a long amount of time until they started gaining independence. So this I do not believe. But before we get to the last one, I would also like to state that there is one which I think is missing.
What is
You're
it?
not going to say anything?
No, I'm just thinking of what that second one could be. The missing one. I got no idea. What could it be?
This one I think would be a 2, but basically it posits that advanced enough life to communicate with other advanced life requires intelligent pack animals, like wolves or humans, for example. But that no other race that could theoretically be advanced enough is pack animals, and are instead independent, so thus don't have the required infrastructure to do anything more advanced than maybe a simple farmstead.
Interesting. Now, what about that last one? That one's piquing my interest a good deal.
We are alone because we miraculously passed the Great Filter. To Salt. This one keeps me up at night. The only reason it's not at 1 is because we're currently running tests to basically remake the birth of life from nothing, and we're currently at like protocells. It's like we're not at cells yet, but we're in like some of the predecessor stages.
Interesting.
So if there wasn't proof that life may be able to spawn from nothing, then this would be a 1. Basically, the Great Filter is some biological thing that we already passed, like pack animals, for example, or multicellular organisms. And that we somehow miraculously pass the filter when, it's supposed to be a filter or like a wall. And if we do ever find alien life, it's gonna be like, wow, this is a slightly different amoeba.
Seems very plausible, actually. I think I agree with you with that placement. Like the top of the twos.
Yeah, albeit with that specific example of multicellular life, on Earth, we already have examples of really big cells or single-celled organisms that can do some pretty impressive stuff. So I'm pretty sure in that specific one, they may be able to find a workaround. I don't know, maybe super mitochondria. But, you know, we need answers to this. So, some
Oh,
people
I'm scared.
in the Eisenhower administration didn't get their security passes revoked properly. So on this DVD copy of My Little Pony, Pinkie Pie, and the Ladybug Jamboree, I have the entirety of the unredacted Epstein files. And I will release them to the world unless President Donald J. Trump releases all files relating to extraterrestrial life, classified or not. And now for viewer mail time. Please send your viewer mail to the on-screen email radicalsaturday at pod@gmail.com. Radicalsaturdaypod@gmail.com. So, what else do we have in store on the channels and the Radical Saturday podcast? Well, up first, we have something which is already out. We have the one, the only Tablemon Pokemon Old Horizons. Do you want to see Pokemon? Do you want to see chaotic pirates colonizing for the King of Galar? Do you want crazy Pokemon antics and fun? Episode 0 out now. Episode 1 out very soon. If not already out, because I may actually finish editing that one first. We have an upcoming video where we do the Albonia challenge to get armored vehicles for Albonia throughout history. We have that long awaited crossover or not crossover, collaboration I've been hinting at involving the Turtle Submersible. And you may remember this episode was originally supposed to be on how to survive the movie Airplane. I may or may not have lost that one and will be having to remake it. Blazing, you have anything else going on that you would like to announce?
Not yet. I do plan to get some episodes of Twisted Shadows out soon, but I have to do a lot of editing still
And we
and
may have a
record.
very Room of Back thing coming up in hopefully a couple weeks. We're still working on scheduling.
Oh, that. I'm glad I'm letting you go into that blind. It's gonna be really funny when you see what's actually going on. I can
Yep.
guarantee it. Big
If
jump
you want
scare.
to send your viewer mail, please send it to radicalsaturdaypod@gmail.com. That is radicalsaturdaypod@gmail.com. Any final words? Any final things you want to say?
None.
All right. Goodbye.